There are essential mental preparations and steps to initiate disciplines of mind remapping. These systematic processes are extremely powerful, initiating an automatic hard reset of the cognitive positions of the brain, remapping improved checkpoints in the mind that free up thinking cycles that have never been used. Before beginning, we must deliberately pre-establish mental spaces and positions in time. This is called creative displacement. Creative displacement is to openly invite time's chaos. Within chaos, we can search for the perfect pitch of its critical balance, which doesn't destroy us, but instead protects us from external evil. It is here, where we will set impenetrable cognitive sanctuaries of our cognition, that no one without its code can enter. These are spaces in time where you will create clean and clear cognitive reformats, forcing the dialogues that code life narratives to stop before their external programming begins, ruling your cycle. These will be the mantras of your empty mind. To empty the mind, old baggage must be muted. These are both good and bad memories, which reinforce positions in time that create false identities. False identities are overwhelming reference points, where if its programming is emotionally impressionable, overrides any initial attempts to induce states of an empty mind at their first beginnings, within the elusive fourth dimension. Therefore, you must create a temporal awareness before the brain and the mind combine their initiating awakening sequences. To be aware before the brain or the mind become conscious, mark perimeters to infinite positions in consciousness which only exist outside of your identity and ego. Therefore, take no thought. There are worlds of time you may never have ventured alone, but these are places the ego may not enter, for it will sabotage and destroy them. These are places in and of time, commonly referenced to esoteric ancient practices of mythology, allegory, philosophy, or spirituality. Thus, this is where your mind remapping must begin. These are the multifaceted disciplines of polymathy, as new iterations of elusive time, called the ethenics of the empty mind. First, every morning you must remove all stimulants that program your reality. The brain and mind must be aspirated by the awareness of the spirit in the breath, before they awaken, achieved through a process of meditative inversion. Second, a conscious inversion of awareness should be initiated before the brain can reset the mind's next 24-hour cycle, generally between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Third, a cognitive reset is an empirical practice of creative displacements to erect living firewalls of chaos that you will ethenically design to protect your consciousness from external influences that are deceptive programs, seeking only to re-establish their ego dominance over the mind. Third, every inserted memory of the good, the bad and the ugly that create your character are controlled assimilations that must be forgotten, for they are contaminates of illusionary comparison. Any reference of their past will corrupt time, relocating the present and future to match them. Thus, their temporal paths must be systematically broken and fragmented. Fourth, to achieve the empty mind, the brain must be distracted with a rude awakening. An abrupt but controlled awakening stimulates cerebral overreactions that dramatically reduces brain dormancy. Fifth, reducing the cerebral dormancy of the brain activates impeded carrier signals of awareness and consciousness. This opens the single eye of the mind from its standard operating frequency of 15.6 Hz to a potential that can reach 110 Hz, increasing cognitive function by 6 times. Fifth, carrier signals are analog gates and flow systems of time symmetry and balance that are in constant conflict with one another. This agitates negative and positive charges between their poles, creating volatile emotional power. Sixth, gates and flow have 4 sets of cognitive bandwidths, representing metaphoric dams of the perceptive mind. Each set of gates locked by compressed brain frequencies are thresholds of light that imprison the mind. Each temporal threshold will purposely be breached by flooding and irrigating all biological and mental systems of human duality, from the allegorical stronghold of the ethenic mind. Seventh, ethenica, is the symbolic iteration of gnosis. It is the extended cognitive mindsets of meta-tech organica. These are the coding regions of the fourth dimension, dominated by imagination where creativity is its universal language. Without this knowledge, we remain the hypnotic characters in the syndromes of a monopolized game synthesis. Reality is a life that the mind plays like sequenced games. From birth we were all programmed to agree to parameters that are so intensely and intentionally weighted that it slows the frame rate of the brain, that we have forgotten the cognitive functions of our minds. The first discipline is physicality. This is to amplify and oscillate brain frequencies, but only through the breath across controlled thresholds of chaos that reduce cognitive resistance. To continue further into the ethnic practices of mind remapping, cognitive positioning systems, and Atlas, register for a mind review, beginning with the meta-coding creative indexing of your cognitive mind. For further details, contact us at mindremapping.co.uk or follow our links below. Thank you.